Hi friends, hope you all are doing great. Dear friends, our attitude plays a crucial role in designing and defining our altitude in our lives. About altitude, the great motivational guru John C. Maxwell says, attitude, it is the advanced man of our true selves. Attitude, its roots are inward, but its fruits are outward. Attitude is our best friend or our worst enemy. Attitude, it is more honest and more consistent than our words. Attitude, it is the outward look based on our past experiences. Attitude, it is a thing which draws people to us or repels us from us. Attitude, it is a thing which never content until it is expressed. Attitude, it is a librarian of our past. Attitude, it is a speaker of our present. Attitude, it is the prophet of our future. These are the most powerful words of John C. Maxwell about attitude. Dear friends, today I have come to you with a beautiful and most powerful book based on attitude. The book is Attitude is Everything by Jeff Keller. I do suggest you all should read this book because it's going to change our lives for sure. And why I should read, why I'm suggesting this book is that because the author Jeff Keller himself has practically implemented all the tools and techniques what he suggests in this book. And if we apply in our lives, while chasing our dreams or goals, those techniques and tools, definitely we will be very, very successful, and definitely we're going to change our lives. And as the author says in the beginning, actually this author is a lawyer, and he loved to become, from childhood onwards, he loved to become a lawyer. And once he became a lawyer, and because of the busy schedule, legal battles, and all the delays in the courts, he couldn't comfortably adjust to that work environment. And gradually he began, after working 10 years in courts, in the various courts as lawyer, he couldn't adjust to that career, and he started feeling bored and is disinterested to continue as a lawyer. And accidentally, and for him life was very draggy and boring and dull. And one fine night, while watching, because he doesn't like to be a lawyer, to continue as a lawyer, but there is no other source of income for him, because it was, once upon a time, it was his dream job. But because of the delays, conspiracies and complexities of the court has made him to lose interest on the career as a lawyer, career as a lawyer. And what happened, he was dragging the life very in a dull mood. And one night, while passing time, he was observing commercials. He was simply changing the channels, one channel after another channel, with a disinterested mindset. Accidentally, he caught the attention of a commercial ad that changed his entire life. That changed entire life. He himself says, while watching that, and he'll watch an advertisement on the mental bank. And this mental bank ad was endorsed by actress Florence Henderson. And she says, because of our subconscious mind, how we can change our mindset and how we can change our lives and career too. Jeff Keller was immediately impressed by that. Immediately he joined that program. From there, he happens to read many motivational books, like he'll read all the great personalities of the motivational books. From then he is very much attached to motivational books and motivational gurus, talks. And he says, the mental program spurred me to seek out motivational resources. I began to read books by Napoleon Hill, Ogmandino, Norman Vincent Peale, and Robert Schuller. I started reading the Bible on a regular basis, and I eagerly listened to inspiring audio programs by Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, and many others. I felt like a person who had wandered for days in the desert with a parched throat and then suddenly found a stream of fresh water. And that moment, he found himself day by day changing into positive man. And he was very much attached, but gradually decided to leave his law job and a career as a lawyer, and he transformed himself gradually into a powerful motivational speaker, one of the most world's famous motivational speaker, and he has written many books. And among that, attitude is everything is the most important one. And why I'm suggesting this to read very carefully, and I want you to adopt this book. In order to bring out this book, Jeff Keller has thoroughly researched, my dear friends. And he himself says, I've spent more than 20 years researching why it is that some people succeed while others achieve disappointing results. We all might have come across in our lives that in spite of putting our best of the efforts, we will not reach our goals. We will not get the expected results. We will find ourselves disappointing in life and careers too. During that time, I read a few hundred books and thousands of magazine articles on attitude and success. I've listened to more than 3,000 hours of audio programs. In addition, I've interviewed countless high achievers to learn their success secrets. And that makes this book a unique book on attitude. And it is definitely going to change our attitude towards positive. If we have positive attitude, well, it's good. And it's going to reinforce your positive attitude. And if some of us are having a negative mindset or negative attitude, definitely by applying the tools and techniques and suggestions what Jeff Keller says, if we follow, definitely very soon we will find our negative attitude will leave us, and we will have a positive attitude, and life will become very beautiful for us. And not only that, he also says, I know what it's like to have a negative attitude, because he himself has experienced the impact of the negative feeling. I know what it's like to have a negative attitude, because that's the kind of attitude I had for the first 30 years of my life. That includes as a lawyer, 10 years as a lawyer career too. I know what it's like to doubt yourself in your abilities. This is the most important valid point, my dear friends. I know what it's like to doubt yourself and your abilities, because that's what I did for 30 years. Unfortunately, most of us, even sometime back, I have done the same thing. I have doubted my abilities. Some of my dear friends, you might have doubted your own abilities, but never ever underestimate your own abilities. You are destined to be a great person. You are destined to be an achiever. That is your birthright, and never give up on that, my dear friends. And he goes ahead. All of the positive changes that I have made in my life are the result of practicing the principles you will read about in this book. So that makes this book as a unique book. I love this book very much, and if you start reading this, you too will love this book, my dear friends. And he goes, and what to change in our attitude? He says three areas. Thinking positive attitude, positive thoughts, and speaking positive thoughts and positive words, and acting positively. So thought, speak, and act. So these three areas should be positive. So our attitude should design and define our thought processes and words, what we speak and what we do. And on these three areas, as we proceed through the book, he will keep on giving suggestions to how to change our thoughts, how to change our speech, and speech, both internal, external, as well as how to act positively. That defines and transforms us into a positive minded person. And most importantly, when you think, speak, and act in ways that support your success, you are firing on all cylinders and on the way to achieve phenomenal results in your life. That's going to happen for sure, my dear friends. You are about to embark on a journey that will bring you success and happiness beyond your wildest dreams. So let's start it. That's what he says. And the entire book is divided into 3 parts. And very simple and easily, as if a friend is speaking to you, the first part discusses about success begins in the mind. It says, Keller says, your success starts in the mind, in your mind. And in this section, he detailing through different chapters, your attitude is a window. So our attitude, he says, our attitude is our window. So from childhood, when we born, we all have positive attitude, friends. But what happens as we grow? As we grow, negative mindset will start taking place in us. Negative mindset will start taking place in us. And that should be avoided. And how to avoid that? And what are the factors that made you to feel negative? That says, our window, that as just now we said, attitude, through the window of attitude we look at the world. That's what Jeff Keller says. And why our attitude slowly transformed into negative attitude, he gives various reasons. Some of the reasons you may relate to yourself. And our windows get our windows get splattered by criticism from parents, teachers, and near and dear. That is, we all one time or other you might have experienced this. And then he goes on. Our windows get smudged by ridicule from peers, friends. Our windows get smeared by rejection. The fear of rejection, fear of failure makes us not to act on any of our dreams, friends. That's most miserable one. Our windows get soiled by disappointments. Sometimes when we'll experience disappointments, we will not further volunteer to take action on our dreams. And he says our windows get clouded by doubt. The most important and the most doubting our own abilities, that makes us to lead our lives ordinarily instead of extraordinarily. If we transform our attitude into positive way, definitely we're going to lead a successful and inspiring life, my friends. And what definition he gives for attitude? He says, think of your attitude as the mental filter through which you experience the world. Some people see the world through the filter of optimism. Just imagine and compare how you are looking at your life. Whether you are looking towards your life to your life with an optimistic view or pessimistic view. Just check it out, my friends, my dear friends. The glass being half full, while others see life through a filter of pessimism. The glass being half empty. Let me give you some examples to explain the difference between a positive attitude and a negative attitude. Now, he gives on examples of a positive minded person and negative minded person, positive attitude person and negative attitude person. The person with the negative attitude thinks I can't. Just go and just think for a moment what you are thinking about your dreams, whether you think you can or you think you can't. Just focus on that, my dear friend. The person with a positive attitude thinks I can. We all belong to the tribe of I can, my dear friends. The person with a negative attitude dwells on problems. The person with a positive attitude concentrates on solutions. The person with a negative attitude finds faults with others. Now, blaming others is the most dangerous thing. Without knowing ourselves, we are relegating ourselves as losers, my dear friends. We should stop blaming others and conditions to transform into a positive person. The person with a positive attitude looks for the good in others. The person with negative attitude focuses on what's missing. The person with positive attitude counts his or her blessings. The person with negative attitude sees limitations. The person with positive attitude sees possibilities. We all are possibilitarians, my dear friends. The moment we think, we can achieve any goal. And throughout the book, he gives many anecdotes, many real life examples, and that makes us successful, and that gives hope for us, my dear friends. And that, what kind of hope he gives? Now, any number of problems you may be having. What kind of a problems you may be having? You may say, what do you know? Simply by reading a book, do you think will it change my life? If you are facing my problems, then you will understand what is this. It is easy for you to say be positive, and you can achieve this kind of positive words. It's easy for you. But if you are in my situation, you will understand the depth of my problems. That's what we often complain. But that also he gives a solution and example too. Still doubting whether you really have the power to change your attitude? Perhaps you are thinking, Jeff, we are thinking while reading the book. That's the beauty of this book, friends. As if a friend is speaking to us. When you are reading this book, you will feel that your friend is speaking to you. So you may be thinking, when you're reading that, you may be thinking like this: Jeff, that's easy for you to say. Your attitude wouldn't be so good if you had my problems. This is what often many of us will think. But for that, he assures us, you have the power to choose your attitude. Whatever may be the circumstances you find yourself in, whatever may be the insurmountable problems you're facing, you may be thinking that these problems are unbearable. Yet, you are having the power to change your life into positive mode. And he gives the best of the classic example. And he says, let me tell you about a man who is well qualified to speak on the subject of attitude. Really, personally, I too strongly believe that there is no other human being, or maybe some other human beings may be there, who have the authority to say, be positive, think positive. And he's the one. Let's find out who is he. His name is Dr. Viktor Frankl. Dr. Viktor Frankl is a world famous neurologist. Dr. Viktor Frankl, and he went through hell on earth and managed not only to survive, but to inspire millions of people. You see, Viktor Frankl endured years of horror as a prisoner in the Nazi death camps, Nazi concentration camps. Those who know, during the Second World War concentration camps, lakhs of people were died without any reason. Those horrific times he has come across. To make matters worse, his father, Viktor Frankl's father, mother, brother, and his wife died in camps, or were killed in gas chambers. Every day, Frankl and other prisoners suffered from hunger, cold, and brutality. Can a person control his or her attitude in a situation like that? We need to compare our problems, our situation. Sometimes we may think we are in a pathetic situation. Just compare our condition with the conditions or the problems faced by Viktor Frankl. Here's what Dr. Frankl had to say. Very, very powerful words, friends. This gives assurance to what kind of a problems you may be facing. These words of Dr. Frankl gives assurance that you can overcome the present crisis, what you're facing right now. Here's what Dr. Frankl had to say about the importance of attitude in his best-selling book, Man's Search for Meaning. I request you should read this book too, friends. Everything can be taken from a man. I repeat, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way, even though conditions such as lack of sleep, insufficient food, and various mental stress may suggest that the inmates were bound to react in certain ways. In the final analysis, it becomes clear that the sort of person the prisoner was the result of an inner decision. That inner decision, Viktor Frankl's inner decision, made him come out successfully throughout those horrific crimes. And my inner decision, your inner decision, our inner decision, it will act like a compass, and it steers us towards greatest success if it is positive in nature, if we have positive attitude, my dear friends, and not the result of camp influence alone. So our mindset, how we think, in spite of the circumstances, what we are feeling, how we feel inside, how much support and strength we give to ourselves, that designs and defines our career and life. Now, if Dr. Frankl and other prisoners had the ability to choose their attitudes in the face of such unspeakable and unbearable suffering, who are we to claim that we cannot take control of our attitudes? As Hugo Downs says, a happy person is not a person in a certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of attitudes. This is just the tip of an iceberg what I have said, because every page has what you call pearls of wisdom you will find, friend. And I suggest you to go through this. And with this positive, and as it goes, he says in the book, in the second section, this is the first section. Second section, he suggests I'll come from the beginning. Success. The first section deals with success begins in the mind, and in that he will explain your attitude is your window to the world. You are a magnet. You are a magnet of success, and it all depends on what you think and what kind of attitude you have. And then we have beautiful chapter. Picture your way to success. Really, you love this reading this chapter. Next. Make a commitment and you will move mountains. Your commitment will will transform you into an extraordinary person, provided it is based on your action. It is supported by action, my dear friend. Turn your problems into opportunities. All the problems, all the obstacles what you are facing are not there to stop you, to defeat you, but they are there to elevate you, to transform you into a triumphant person. This is the first section. And second section, watch your words. Really, the way we communicate with others is important, but the way how you communicate with yourself, when you are speaking, how you are speaking with yourself, that is most important, my dear friends. You love this section very much. Your words blaze a trail. One chapter, how are you? How you are thinking yourself, and stop complaining. The moment you read this chapter and you follow the tools and tips what he suggests, Jeff Keller suggests, definitely you will stop complaining, and everything you expect from you, friends, instead of the circumstances or instead from others, you will expect the best, the miraculous performance from within you, my dear friend, and you will have hope and you will have confidence. By the time you finish the second section, definitely you will change into a very successful minded person. And last but not least, heaven helps those who act. Here, how we will interact with others, how to improve our network and net worth. Our network designs and defines our net worth. And these sections associate with the positive-minded people, just that we have to check out what kind of a mindset people we have, we are surrounded by. And that designs whether we have a positive mindset or a negative mindset. And then confront your fears and grow. Your fears are there to check you, cross-check you. The moment you overcome the stage of fear, everything wherever you go, you will see golden opportunities to elevate you, to give success to you on a golden platter, my dear friend. So don't fear and go chase your dreams and get out there and fail. So the more you fail, the better and stronger you will emerge, as long as you stick to your goal. And networking that gets results. And finally, change your attitude and you change your life. Wonderful book, a small book, my dear friends. I hope if you start on a weekend, definitely you will finish it in 2 days, maximum of 2 days. That's maximum. And morning you start, by the evening you will finish it. And nowhere, no boring paragraph, no boring pages. Just the moment you start, as if smoothly you will finish in, and you will enjoy the book. I'm sure you will enjoy this book. And read this book. If you have a negative mindset, as sometimes because of the circumstances we do have, change that into positive mindset and chase your dreams, my dear friends, because you are destined to be an achiever. That is your right. And wishing you great success in all your endeavors. This is Durai Argunta signing off. Thank you.